Now, people actually have confusion about which one is governor consent, which one is CFO. Yes, it is understandable that many people are familiar with CFO, but governor consent, people still have difficulty understanding the difference between a CFO and a governor consent. So we have this question: now, what's the difference between a CFO and a governor consent? Hello, smart investors. Welcome to Real Estate Made Easy, your number one YouTube channel where we educate you, we inform you, empower you about real estate investment by giving you pro tips, guides, advice, and warnings so that you can understand the right thing you need to know, do the right thing, and of course get the right result when it comes to real estate investment. You can actually invest with peace of mind. If you are coming across this channel for the first time, kindly subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss our subsequent video. And of course, you can do well by going to our playlist and of course learn one thing or the other from our previous video. Once again, I welcome you to this channel, and today, like I've said, we have a number of questions that are begging for an answer. So we'll be answering one of them today. That is, what is the difference between a CFO and a governor consent? So make sure you stay tuned with us while we explain this in a very simple term. CFO simply means certificate of occupancy. Governor consent is a consent given from a government on a property that are transferred from one person to another. Yes, government is in know of that document. Start with understanding the meaning of these two terms, CFO and a governor consent. First and foremost, what is CFO? CFO simply means certificate of occupancy. CFO is an important document, a legal document that gives a final approval, a final ownership, a final authority to a possessor of a property, that yes, this property belongs to you in the eye of the government. The government is in the know that truly you are the rightful owner of that property, and government is like giving you a certificate. Just like imagine now you're going to school, and after your 5 years course, 4 years course, 6 year course, and then the universities are awarding you with a certificate that yes, you have merited this certificate, you have this degree, you have this degree, that. That is just what a CFO is. That now you've acquired a property. Now the government is giving you an approval. Yes, truly that property belongs to you. So that is what we call a CFO. CFO is what makes your property purchase to be legal in the eye of the government. It means that whoever has a CFO, that person has a final title document to that property. It means that if anybody encroaches such a property, this person has an upper hand in claiming the ownership. It also means that if government discover oil or any treasure on that same property, this person is also entitled to compensation. It also, another advantage of having a CFO is that if this owner of this property wants to go into business and he or she needs facilities from government or needs a loan or what have you, this person can use the title of CFO on the property to earn those facilities. Maybe you need a loan, you need a collateral, and so you can use it as a collateral. Now, I believe CFO is understood. Now, what is now governor consent? A governor consent simply means is, according to 1978 Land Use Act, property ownership has not been legal until government has consented to that transaction. So now, if I have a property that has a CFO and I want to sell this property to another person, this other person cannot have CFO on that property again. CFO is only given to the first person to apply for a property with a CFO. Subsequent buyers on that property, what they need to have is what we call a governor consent. So it simply means that two people cannot have a CFO on the same property. For instance, this building where you are looking at this video from, if I have a CFO on it and I decide to sell this property to someone else, this other person that wants to have this property cannot have a CFO in his own name again. What the person will need to do is that the person will now have to process a governor consent. A governor consent will not be the title document on the property for this new buyer. It also means that if this other person that has bought the property from me now also wants to sell the same property to another person, and the other person also wants to have a title document in his or her own name or in the company's name, then he or she also have to process a title known as what? A governor consent in his or her own name, and if it's a company, in the company's name. So that's the clear difference between a CFO and a governor consent. A COFO, and also take note that both COFO as well as governor consent can only be obtained on a property that is free from government acquisition. You cannot possess a COFO or a governor consent on a property that is under a government acquisition, particularly a committed acquisition. The only exception to this rule is that if the property in question is under a global acquisition, then you can still perfect that property by having what we call a ratification. When you ratify it, you can end up having what? A governor consent on that property. That is, you can buy it from the government, and then government can then issue you a governor consent or a COFO because you are buying it from a government directly. But if the property already has a COFO and you want to sell, then the next buyer is going to have a governor consent. It's as simple as that. Another difference between a governor consent and a COFO is this. A COFO has an expiring date of 99 years. A governor consent does not have an expiring date. For a COFO, there are basically two types of a COFO. You can have a agricultural COFO, you can have a residential COFO. Agricultural COFO has a shorter lifespan than a residential COFO. So, a governor consent is a governor consent. So, irrespective of whether you are having a governor consent on that property for a commercial property, or residential property, or agricultural property, if government is giving you consent, government is giving you consent. That is what known as the governor consent. And so I hope you have been able to understand the difference between a COFO and a governor consent. And should you have further questions you'd like us to answer, we'll be glad to answer you. If you have benefited from this video and you've learned one thing or the other, and you are here to subscribe to this channel, kindly do so right away, and make sure you turn on the notification bell so that you do not miss our subsequent video. And of course, I remain your award-winning mentor, property advisor, property consultant, Bello Kamaldeen. I'll come your way again next time. Please remain blessed. Thank you.